Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Coach JC. Everyone gather around, should be a good one today. Today's topic is you can't pray for a good man and then say that all men ain't SHIT. Let's be real. Like, whatever you think, whatever you pray to, whatever you manifest is going to happen. You pray for a good man, you pray for a family stable man, then 9 times out of 10 you'll get it. You know, just by your faith, by you putting the work in each and every day, doing a self-evaluation on yourself, loving yourself, taking time with yourself, being patient, being kind, being venturous towards yourself. Once you love yourself enough, then guess what? God is just going to bring it to you. You know, that's why I say in this book, God's timing, find covenant, love, and commitment. I talk about that. You know, wait for God. You know, He's the one that kind of got everything, gonna manifest everything. You know, what you think is what will manifest. And like I said, it's tough out here. Don't get me wrong. It's tough out here today. Yeah, you could say, well, yeah, you a married man. You can't really say much to me, but that's what I've been in those shoes. I've been single. I've been, you know, without dates, without, you know, getting phone numbers. I've been in that stage, you know. And like I said, I wouldn't have met my wife had I not gone through the trial and tribulation, gone through a lot of rejections. You know, when I've dated women, I've had fun, great times, but it's like, you know, I had to go through those experiences. I had to go through those heartbreaks, those long nights. Just made me stronger, made me tougher, and made me mentally prepared for, you know, the wife that I have right now. You know, very educated, very giving, and it's like I would not have met her if I didn't go through that challenge, that path that God had for me. You know, you learn from every trial, tribulation, whether it's good or bad, perceived good or bad. Just learn from it and you'll grow from it. Be positive. You know, even if it's not your time today, tomorrow, might be a year from now, might be 2 years from now. But just be patient and just wait on the Lord. You know, I always say that. You know, everything you manifest, everything you pray to, everything you put into wishes is going to happen. So, like me, you know, I was like, hey, you know, I want a wife, I want a daughter, and it happened. So, you know, it wasn't even luck. It was just me connecting with God. I was like, you know what, let me manifest it. Yeah, I'm having issues in this area, dating and stuff. I used to see my brothers all the time with women and stuff. I used to be like, man, what's going on? I used to be looking at myself like, what they got that I don't got? But I'm like, nah, I look at myself like, you know, I wasn't putting myself out there. I wasn't being available, you know. I could just shy, timid, and didn't want to talk to nobody. So I got what I got, you know. Now I can't complain what I got now. I'm very blessed and, you know, very fortunate to have my wife right now. So, you know, like I said, just think good things, sow good seeds, have a good positive mindset, you know. Positive mind frame, you know, even if it's not working stuff out. You might have been divorced, you might have been long-term committed relationships, but sometimes it just wasn't supposed to be. And like I said, it's better to be with someone who's there with you all the way in than to be all the way out, just halfway in, partially in. You don't want that. So, you know, those lessons that you had in the past, you know, they're going to teach you a lesson to move forward, to get stronger with that, you know, hey, I'm not putting up with any kind of BS that I had last go around. This time is different. So, like I said, just have a nice reframe mindset. Hey, all men ain't bad. All men are dogs. They don't cheat. Like me. Like I said, I'm all faithful to my wife. I ain't gonna talk to nobody really besides her, my daughter. You know, so I always just keep to myself anyway. So I'm good right there. So like I said, it happens. Like I said, a lot of men out here that do, when they get married, they do want wives, they do want family, they do want kids, and they do want a legacy to leave. But it's like, gotta be patient, you know. I know it sucks right now, but like I said, you'll thank me later on. But what's your thoughts on this topic, though? Feel free to comment below. Until next time out, Coach JC.